With no less than 12 district mayors either resigning on their own or being forced to do so during this mandate, the nickname of Tour de Rwanda was given to the whole phenomena because of the way it seemed to move from one district to another. Naturally, local residents have a few observations about this local government mandate that is coming to an end. I believe there should be a second person working at the cell offices. At the settlement level, the local security manager and settlement leader do a good job. The local leaders we are going to elect should help us to encourage children to go to school because I believe there is a problem on that issue. They should also work to ensure that even those who dropped out go back. We may develop, but the children too should get a good education. I think they have served us well during this mandate here in our cell of Kabagesera. They deserve to be commended. However, I think if the settlement leaders were to get a salary, their performance would improve even more. Settlement leaders work very hard. I believe even harder than those at the cell level. They should be paid something, however small. The fact is, anyone with a problem runs to the settlement leader. It is no secret that some local leaders were heavily criticized over the last 5 years for failing to properly fulfill their duties, and changes to the way performance contracts were pledged and implemented have sought to address this, starting at the district level. It was also during this mandate that, for the first time ever, a performance contract signing ceremony was actually skipped, that of 2019, something the President of the Republic touched on last year when the ceremonies resumed. Pertaining to the last performance contracts, I believe you have corrected the reason we stopped their signing ceremony. The reason we stopped the last performance contract signing ceremony is because you had turned it into what I was talking about earlier. It had become something where a person would come in and pledge anything they want, do whatever they want, to the extent that I think people no longer knew even why they were giving the marks to begin with. Last time they tried inviting me to the ceremony and I refused to accept the invitation, telling them to go and do it themselves, that I would not attend ceremonies where people were lying and others were allowing themselves to be deceived. You allowed yourselves to be deceived. It had become nothing more than a ceremony and we were really not doing anything productive here. It is good that some of those things have now been corrected, but you must put in more effort in addressing other matters too. You should hold these people accountable and not just let them sit there. I believe the ministers are also hearing this. That year, Nyaruguru district was recognized as the best performer when it came to the implementation of the 2019-2020 performance contracts with 84%, followed by Huye with 82.8% and Rwamagana in the third position with 82.4%. Experts believe, indeed, there is much that still needs to be done.
igifitemo ibibazo bishingiye ku bushobozi buke bw'abajyanama bwo kugira inama nyine inzego.
The research we conducted found that district consultative councils have several problems. They have limited resources when it comes to oversight of the district executive councils, and the way they are selected is also troublesome. Most of the members chosen have jobs in the district anyway, and so the executive council has power over them and overseeing it becomes a problem. Also, districts have far too many projects under their sector decentralization policy that they are supposed to implement, yet limited budgets from the ministry, what they call marked budgets. They clearly need more flexible budgets that allow them to deal with the problems of local residents. There is also a problem of capacity building among some local leaders who get nervous and angry when people question them about how they carry out their responsibilities. During the next mandate, a lot of effort should go towards capacity building in local government, focusing on the policies of the central government, because surprisingly, we found that some local leaders were not even conversant with that. They would claim that they're just implementing the policies they receive from above, eroding the confidence local communities have in their abilities and understanding.
Wababaza cyane bakakubwira bati ni byavuye hejuru, ibyo rero bituma abaturage batabizera.
Even though people are not sure when the next elections for local leaders will be held, in light of the threat the COVID-19 pandemic has continued to pose, much will nevertheless be expected of the next group to serve.